Hey, I'm Kev Chemical. Welcome back to Monster Energy Supercross 2. I thought it was a good time to finally say goodbye to Supercross 2 with Supercross 3 announced earlier this month for February next year. And not this past weekend, but the weekend previously when we had the Monster Energy Cup in Las Vegas. Well done to Adam C winning that ahead of Eli Tomac, even though most of the top riders were missing. You also had the main event, shall we say, from there was actually Supercross 3 being kind of shown off by Milestone in an alpha state, and there's quite a lot of motocross, Supercross YouTubers have been showing it off, and I thought we'd just talk about Supercross 3, what we can hope and expect from that game, and finally, final time, talk about Supercross 2 and our feelings about it, as we're going to design a track. A terrible track. So you can do a large one or a normal one, diamonds, indoors, outdoors, rectangular, indoors, outdoors. Why not a large outdoor stadium track? So this is probably like the 4th or 5th time I've been trying to record this video because I'm not very good. The old track editor, and just not been designing tracks that have been good enough. I also have been just getting too into it, not actually doing the commentary part as well. So we try and balance it out. As what's that in the way? Can we stick it here? That'd be okay. Or maybe stick it. Oh god. Go forward a bit. There we go. Can we stick that there? So if we go back slightly. Yeah, got that thing in the way. So yeah, we've got loads of different starts we can choose. Short, medium, large, bendy. This bendy. Kind of a very large start here. And it kind of circles round it. That might be pretty cool actually. Should we go for that? And then a little mini straight and then massive whoop section that we begin things off with. And then maybe a bit of a turn back here. A little straight, and then a bit more of a turn the other way. There you go. Now some jumps maybe. So we're trying to design a circuit a bit like, say, I think it was Minnesota, wasn't it? Arizona, especially St. Louis. A bit of, say, Daytona as well, or Arlington, Texas, and Salt Lake City, with the massive jumps, with the good rhythm sections as well. So yeah, hopefully you can do that. Not sure I can, as you'll see, I'm not particularly a track designer here. Let's have a little jump section. A bit of a bank turn here, maybe. Or can we actually put in the super arse thing here? Oh, it's going the wrong way. Damn it. We'll try and put it in the bottom corner. I'm pointing to the bottom left corner. So hopefully we can try and do that. Forgetting out that in videos as well. I keep pointing at stuff. I keep forgetting you can't actually see where I'm pointing to. Maybe I need a... What do they call it in the American football? That they do in American sports as well. They need a terrestrator where they highlights things and stuff. I'm not sure I can afford a sky pad, but I could definitely get a pen out maybe on a tablet and draw it like that. I did actually look into that in the past, because I have series where they had a major series, Power Oversteer, where I looked into kind of motorsport. And yeah, that was one of those things I was actually looking at, so we could do that, so I could kind of review kind of moves from the weekend, but never know. Might look into it in the future. Well, let's bend back here. Here we go. Kind of some larger whoops. Make it a bit twisty here. And if we turn back in, just a flat bend. Tiny whoops into another bend. Actually, is that too flat a bend, actually? Do something like that. But yeah, I haven't really messed around with the track editor a lot in the Supercross games. I should mess around with it a lot more. It is good fun. And it's just because I'm not very good at designing tracks, as you're about to see. So go back one. Go do that. Oh no, it's got a bit of a jump. I don't want to jump in it. Just want a bit of a angled bend. Actually, I need a 90-degree one. That's only a small turn. It's like 150, 165. I do like all the degree angles. Like, you can see why they've just dumped this into XGP this year. Like, it is pretty decent base, this track editor. Like, very much looking forward. So let's get a big kind of single in there. And then we'll build up for the big triple here. So is that, what's that, double tabletop jump? No, I don't want that. Dragon's back. Never been the biggest fan of those. Yeah, let's try and get, should we go for a mini? A big triple. I don't think we've got enough for a big triple. So just go for a mini, triple. Go into a single. Something like that. Or was that too big a gradient? Or something like that. Medium, and then into a couple doubles. Get some sand pits in as well for no reason. And a bit of a whoop section after, maybe. We're definitely not designing by the book here. I don't remember sections like this a lot from what I remember. Oh, look, we've added in another jump as well for no reason. Always a good idea. If we go into the bend... Oh, let's turn back slightly, shall we? Play this... No, not that way. That way, there we go. It's not too bad. So yeah, track editor is pretty good. And Supercross 2 was pretty good as well, wasn't it? You know, I think I prefer the original Supercross to this game, but this game did make improvements, say, in career mode, where, okay, you could still just sign with a sponsored team, but you had the more living the lifestyle a bit more, where you had like the structured kind of weeks. It's something that you saw in, say, Valentino Rossi the game, again from Milestone, when they chucked everything into that game to celebrate Rossi's, I think it was 20th anniversary in MotoGP, or in Grand Prix Motorcycle Racing. So they just chucked in all of these different game modes they had, such as Ryan, such as Flat Track Racing, such as even RC Racing as well as DLC, and chucked that in. And so you lived the life as a Valentino Rossi Academy member in career mode in Valentino Rossi the game. It's actually pretty decent, even though it got repetitive after a couple of seasons. A bit like it got repetitive with this kind of structured layout in this career mode. They also have it in WRC8, as you may have noticed on the channel as well if you watch those videos, and it works a bit better in WRC8, I would say. It was, I don't know, it's something that, oh, maybe if I had in a bit here, I could do a bigger triple hit. Yeah, it's something that maybe needed a bit more development, just a bit more variety in what you can do. I like that you do a bit of training, that you can challenge rivals. Shame you can't build up a rivalry like you can in, say, the F1 games, where you've got these very different career modes I'm talking about here, where you've got WRC8, where you're trying to get your driver up to, from junior WRC level to the high WRC level, but you've got some team management there for balancing the finances and improving your manufacturer reputation, which is the main thing, by getting results and by doing these events such as manufacturer tryouts and challenges, by doing extreme condition events, doing maintenance of your vehicle as well when you get up to WRC level, and getting these season goals when you get up to WRC level as well, then short and long-term objectives, and then managing your crew as well on your vehicle, managing the R&D too, with these skill trees. Like, so much into that career mode. It is fantastic, WRC8 career mode. And then you've got that in F1 career mode as well, with the skill trees, but that's for developing your vehicle. And of course, as I said, developing your rivalry as well with your teammate and with an opponent in kind of the midfield. Even though you're fighting for a seat, which is kind of similar to your level. So if you actually develop the car during the season, you might actually out-develop. Your car might be quicker than the seat you're going for sometimes. But yeah, I wish they could build on that somehow, like on the rivalry aspect. Like you saw they had that with the F2 at the beginning of career, where they would build up these three main rivals, or they will fight each other in F1, and then it goes nowhere when you get to F1. Maybe if they expand that for 2020 and actually make that, say, like just cinematics through like a season, like you had in the NBA games for in 2K, when you had, you know, this rival for like multiple seasons at occasion. I think it was in 2K16, you had like a rival for like 2 or 3 seasons. And yeah, I hope that works its way in, and you see it in MLB The Show as well, where you got this rivalry stuff and clubhouse stuff now as well. So yeah, lots of games are doing this more RPG style approach to sports games and career mode. It's brilliant for someone like me who loves career mode. It's good and main, you know, type I play, especially in licensed video games where multiplayer is perhaps not as good. Let's say like an iRacing, or in some sim racing sectors as well, with the SRS, with the sim racing system as well, for Automobilista, for Assetto Corsa, for Race Room, for R Factor 2 as well. So yeah, I play it more for career mode, as you may have noticed on this channel. So yeah, it's good to see. And yeah, it's good that there was improvements. Oh, we could put a start-finish line here, just in the middle of nowhere. Why not? So yeah, that was fantastic to see. I should put a tabletop after this, just to be annoying. Maybe. Or put a bridge in. I discovered earlier you can't actually put your track through the bridge. There must be a way of changing the width of the track, but I can't figure it out for the life of me. It didn't show it in the tutorial either. Like, if you just made this track just a tiny bit narrower, then you could fit through the bridge. I don't know why they didn't make the bridge bigger so you could fit the track through it, but okay, good job, Milestone. Hopefully you fixed that for Supercross 3. So yeah, career mode was better in Supercross 2. Having a little rivalry. So that's just something you actually see in the NASCAR games, the Heat games, just thinking about it, where that rivalry actually pays off in the different styles of racing you get in the races and in grid as well, which came out recently. You got, you know, it's kind of built on that rivalry as well, where they will race you a bit differently depending on what you did previously in the season. So, and how developed that rivalry is. So yeah, hopefully that's something that we can see in more games. As small U-bend, sand bends. Do we really want sand bends though? Because we've got a tabletop turn here. Why not? Let's be obnoxious. And now I think we're bend, go forward, bend back, come back round. Kind of have a bit of a jump section here as well. So yeah, career mode was improved. AI wasn't. It was exactly the same as Supercross, which was very disappointing. It had the usual glitch and bugs that you get in milestone games, unfortunately, that you get in almost every game nowadays, unfortunately. But yeah, lots to build on for Supercross 3, for career and multiplayer as well. Still the same, you know, very dodgy. Needed massive improvements. So Supercross 2, decent, not as good, not as fun as Supercross. You didn't have the air physics like freedom I would have liked, that we were promised with MXGP Pro previously. We haven't had that yet. And also just, you know, customization was good as well. Like lots of customization. That was brilliant actually. But yeah, just, you know, just needed a bit more, it feels like, overall in Supercross 2. It didn't feel like a big enough leap forward from Supercross. And that was a big criticism I had of MXGP Pro as well from 3, actually a step back from 3. And that's why I haven't got MXGP Pro or MXGP 2019. But I'll get Supercross 3 because I find the Supercross game is a bit more fun, a bit more enjoyable, a bit more casual. And they're maybe made for people like me who maybe don't follow sport intensely, but like they're off-road games, like they're biking games. And if you like your biking games, you're more likely to get a milestone game with Ride 3, with MotoGP, and you've also got it with Rainbow Studios as well, where it's versus ATV, all out. And interesting thing happened a couple months ago as well. Well, I had this hiatus in between making milestone game videos, is that Milestone have actually been acquired by THQ Nordic, who also own and publish MX vs ATV All Out and own Rainbow Studios. So you got the kind of major off-road racing games, at least in the mainstream space, under the same roof now. I wonder if there's going to be some correlation there, maybe some crossover. Can we see that? Maybe just get Rainbow Studios to do the air physics for the Milestone games, then Mod's going to add a bit more realism into, you know, a bit more realistic handing into the Rainbow games. You never know. But yeah, that should be good. Or should we go into a whoop section actually after? Put a little mini here. Have a tiny bit of whoops before we turn back round. So yeah, very much looking forward to Supercross 3, and from what I've seen from all the videos, it looks okay. Looks like, again, more evolution rather than revolution. Like, they have added stuff in, if I look to the press release when they announced it a couple of weeks ago. So they've got all of the classes, again, 450, 250, Supercross. You won't get two strokes, unfortunately, not being added in, unlike what they've done with the MXGP games. Got 15 official stadiums and tracks. You've got 100 riders as well across the two classes. So they've increased that from around 72, I think it was. Previously, around 80 actually, sorry, it was previously. And for the first time, you don't just ride for a sponsor team, you can also ride for a manufacturer team. So you can actually be the teammate to like a Tomac or a Muskin or a Cooper Webb. So that's fantastic to see. And very much looking forward to seeing how that would play out in career mode. And unfortunately, the last video I saw, it seems like they're taking a step back in career, which is very disappointing. Like, it's not going to have this structured kind of layout that it has in Supercross 2. It's going to be just more focusing on you riding, you know, with your career team. So yeah, that's a bit disappointing. I was really hoping for kind of a step forward in career mode with this structured system, but it looks like we're not going to be getting that. So that's a shame, Milestone. But instead, should I put a jump in the tabletop here actually? So if I put a bit of a bigger jump, where's the tabletop? And then a bit of a jump after, maybe a little mini jump. And then a straight. So yeah, that's a bit disappointing in career, but at least we can finally ride with the official teams. So if you're a KTM fan, Honda fan, Husqvarna fan, Suzuki, Yamaha, Kawasaki, you can ride for any of those manufacturers now, which is about damn time, to be honest. And apart from that, you can also ride as a female rider for the first time. So it's good to see that they've done an all new set of animations and physics as well. And just, you know, brilliant to see as well that they've actually done it for the men as well, just tweak the physics and stuff. Even though it doesn't look like from the preview gameplay, again, it's alpha gameplay, it's not the final version, but it doesn't look like they've done actually too much different. It looks like they made them stiffer, which is a bit disappointing if it's the case. It looks a bit like, say, MXGP2, like the riders, even though the lighting reminds me of that as well, because it's a bit better as well. It's not kind of yellow everywhere. It's actually a bit more realistic, the lighting. So yeah, it's a bit disappointing for the preview footage, but again, not the final footage. We'll see it again when when it finally comes out. As I'm trying to decide what to do here. I'm trying to find like a tight twisty section, but I don't know really how to do it. Maybe do a little bend here. And then come back out. And then we're going to have like a flat out section in parallel and then turn back round and then we go to the finish. So a bit of a gap kind of in the top middle of this circuit, but we'll see how awful it is. I'm trying to do better than... If you remember the promotion for Supercross today, there's lots of big YouTubers who weren't really interested in Supercross doing their own tracks in the track editor, and most of them were goddamn awful. And I'm hoping to be at the awful stage, be slightly above that. As do some more whoops, lead into a jump. Put a little stop there. Put a jump here. Actually, no, make that a bigger jump. Lands on that. Little track. Oh god, go back into a corner. And again, we're going to run parallel and have a bit of a fast section here, hopefully. So we go get the triples out again. Go for a bigger triple. And land on the single. I think that will work, won't it? Maybe tougher whoop section as well, as you've got some momentum. And a jump. So yeah, apart from your custom rider, got some new customization as well, a set of new animations, improvement to the graphics, physics, to the presentation as well. That's one thing I love about Supercross as well. You got that kind of stadium presentation where you got the fireworks and everything. You got Ralph Sheen at the beginning as well. And I believe he's back too. And yeah, on the gameplay side, they're improving the physics apparently, the air physics. Like apparently it's tiny bit more free, a bit more in control, a bit more of your control in the air rather than being a set animation like it has been previously in the Supercross games. And yeah, hopefully that is the case, and hopefully the physics are a bit improved as well, because you were basically just sliding around all the corners in Supercross 2. I preferred it in Supercross 1 and in MXGP 3, where you could actually ride like high on the burns and kind of actually use momentum out the corners. A bit overpowered in the original Supercross trying to get the momentum through the corners, but yeah, in 2 you just lost that. It wasn't as fun. It didn't feel as natural really to ride, even though I've never ridden a Supercross bike. I've rarely ridden a bike actually in my life, but yeah, it's just it just did not feel as good, unfortunately. So here we go, last jump section. What's this devil's bat? Should we just plop this in for no reason? Was that a top jump? Don't really like the devil's back, but we'll add it in. Oh, we could add in a mini triple as well. Not sure I have the momentum really. And then we turn back round and head towards the start finish. So yeah, lots of stuff added to Supercross, added to the track editor as well, like they had in, or just touching up, you know, like the touch blocks, like the finish gates, the pillars, so you can enhance the rhythm. That's what they say here, and immersion of the custom tracks. There's over 53,000 were created in this game. Of course, mine is in the top 50,000, I think, looking at this. Or it's going to be. There's some little whoops. And there you go, turn back round. Oh yeah, turn back round actually leads into small turn. Do one of these stupid sections. There we go. I can't make an awful Supercross track without just putting in one of these dumb sections into my track. As it's almost over the pain. Oh, can we join in a bit early actually? A bit straight in. Yeah, there we go. Can join in earlier. So shall we look at the validation? So while we look at the validation in the background then, got around 2.5 minutes to get around my track. Talk about finding the multiplayer where they've had it in dedicated servers and the race director, which is something they had it in MotoGP 19 this year, did Milestone, coincidentally. So once again, they're just nabbing features from their other games and adding them into another game. That's the problem with Milestone. It feels like they've got this perfect Milestone game where they had features in one game and just had it into another game, like their next release. Or take it away, as we found with, say, like MotoGP 18, where they took away the kind of easy photo editor mode in replay. For some reason they took away, but they've had it back in for 19. But they had it in Ride 3 again, even though they had it in all the previous MotoGP games. I'm not sure if it's an oversight, but yeah, it's just pretty weird. Oh my god, what is this section? Jesus. No wonder you're confused, Anderson, where you're going. Oh, at least I love this long whoop section. This looks fun. So yeah, in multiplayer, more control for the race director and more importantly, dedicated servers. It helped MotoGP 19 connection. It wasn't perfect though. MotoGP 19 still have random connection issues, but it was much better. So hopefully that'll be the case with Supercross 3. You can actually play multiplayer and show it off from Supercross 3 as well. So here we go, the triple. Oh my god, you've got to take more pace than that, Anderson. There you go. Oh no! Oh, I didn't quite. A couple pulls into a whoop section. That flow's not too bad. Still a bit awful, but not too bad. Oh my god, what are you doing? So there we go, it's going to validate. Comfortable, 35 seconds left. So yeah, that's multiplayer. And then I usually want to upload this track. Yes. Yeah, hopefully my keyboard works. This is hopefully something they can improve as well. No, it's not working. I can't type in a name. I have to unplug my keyboard and stuff. But I tried it last time with the previous track I created and it didn't work, so hopefully that improves for Supercross 3. I think it's because it can just read one controller at a time. So of course, playing with the Xbox pad, it can only read that, and I have to maybe disconnect the Xbox pad and put the keyboard in instead. Ridiculous. That's fine, mate. Let's ride round our track. I haven't done this for a while. Actually ride in Supercross 2. See how fun this is. I do like this first corner very wide open. Look at that drift through there. Anderson. That's not too bad. So one final thing to talk about then for Supercross 3. Talk about single player, multiplayer. One game mode we haven't talked about is compounds, the playground. As that was introduced in Supercross by Milestone, quickly put over to XGP. It's going to be a bit different actually in Supercross 3 because in MotoGP 2019 that in like a waypoint mode. Well, that actually works quite well. So you had this game mode where you could set challenges and stuff with friends. Well, in Supercross 3 you can actually do co-op with friends in the compound, and oh, that should not have landed. And it's set somewhere else, the compound. You've had this like random area, you've had like woodlands, you had like a playground area. Now it's set in California, actually based on a real life compound where OEMs, you know, such as, you know, Honda, Suzuki, Yamaha, all tested their bikes around there. So I'm to see what it's like, because apparently it's like 9 different circuits in the compound. As one tiny thing I like about this is that we can actually ride this track in reverse. Well, in its free mode, so let's see what it's like in reverse. see if it's any better. It's actually not too bad, this track. Considering I don't know what I'm doing, so I'll take it. Oh god, some of the jumps aren't working. Go on, triple it. Not quite. So yeah, that sounds brilliant for compounds. Like, I don't really mess around with the compound modes. Like, I'm all about career and just messing around in that. But yeah, I might check it out a bit more. The new area of all those tracks as well. But it feels like they're actually fulfilling the potential of one of the game modes for once, Milestone, with the compounds. Like the with Supercross 3, like with... Oh god, what is this section? I had in this new area with all these tracks as well, and it's like great fun. Oh! Should really finish the video there, shouldn't I? You can't get much higher than that. So yeah, it looks like good fun, and can't wait to try out compound mode. So yeah, Supercross 3 might be more of the same, a slight improvement, but I don't think you can really expect more from yearly titles. You just want them to improve. You just want them to move forward. With such a short time span between games, like, I think that's the best you can perhaps hope for, is that there is some improvement. And of course, it's auto gears as well, and that's a bit annoying. Actually, I don't mind this track this way. It's not too bad. Some of the jumps are off, but it's got a bit of flow. At least the other way, not this way. Oh, actually, there we go. That's a triple it. Oh, there we go. Oh, almost landed all. So yeah, this track's, I'm finding it okay. It needs just some minor adjustments on jumps and flows, but not too terrible. It's awful, but not woefully awful. Hope you agree. And maybe you can try it out as well online once I figure out how to get my keyboard and set a track name. But yeah, that's my thoughts on Supercross 3. Looking forward to it. And definitely will be seeing more career mode as well from Supercross. What the hell? When it comes out in February. But before then, we do have WRC C8, MotoGP 19. Got to finish off some careers as well, some other career modes. For the end of the year, before this that comes out in December. Can't wait for that. And of course, we have the usual other games you show, such as iRacing and all the sim titles, etc., etc. Lots of games to go back to as well. Might be start doing some more retro or just classic games playthrough as well, apart from just doing all these new releases. So lots to look forward to on the channel for the rest of the year, and from Supercross 3 next year. But Supercross 2, we have loved you, we've hated you, you're alright. Gonna hope for better next year from Milestone. So sign out for watching, and I will see you next time. Screw this circuit, I'm out of here.